Ah, you've returned from the fort. How did it go? You found a gem, yes? Worth it, wasn't it?
Do you have anything in your shop worth buying right now?
My friend, Sugarclaw has exactly what you need.
Does he have any other new weapons or armor, or just, random stuff? Okay, just random stuff it looks like, but always nice to have another fence. Always good to get an additional fence. Can I not sell him the gem? The reason I ask is because even though I know it's a quest item, on the mod page it said, hey, if you want to do the secret quest for Makara, don't piss her off. And I'm just thinking, oh, a great way to piss her off and cut yourself off from the quest would be if you sold her gem to the Khajiit fence, who's just, you know, willing to give you information in the first place. Alright, back to her we go. At the same time, I guess, if he wanted the gem, he would have told us that he wanted the gem. And he wouldn't have simply just sent us to go get it.
Hello again, traveler. It is good to see you are doing well. Makara was just watching the water. It is calming, yes? Soothes the spirit. The ebb and the flow of it, the distant rush of the falls, the light glinting off the ripples as the water flows away downstream. It clears the mind.
You've changed your clothes.
Strange response, but yes. The hides this one wore before were damaged when she was attacked. One of the villagers was kind enough to replace them, free of charge. Nice people here, very unlike the ones Khajiit met in Windhelm. What do you think? Does the outfit suit Makara?
The red suits you well. I think it looks good.
Does it? This one thought it a bit flashy, but she is happy you like it. Anyways, you did not come to talk about clothing, this one assumes.
I like the Dunmer outfits, what can I say? I found your gem, the bandits at Mistwatch had it.
You have it? Amazing. Makara cannot believe you tracked the bandits down, much less retrieved her gem from them. And not a scratch on you either.
Well, there were no bandits.
You are something special, you know that? You have Makara's deepest thanks. Please, can this one see it? Makara was afraid she would never see it again. Thank you. Thank you, friend.
Why is this gem so important to you?
It is difficult to explain. This gem, it is one half of a whole, yes? A piece of a puzzle, the other half of which this one's brother carries.
Your brother?
Yes, Udasi Dro, Makara's older brother. This one is here in Skyrim searching for him.
What did you mean when you said the gem is a part of a puzzle?
It was a gift Makara was given by her brother, and that is how he described it, as a piece of a puzzle. He happened across a shopkeeper in Balmora who had brought in a bunch of artifacts, two of which caught Udasi's eye. A gem and a shining hunk of metal, prismatic, almost translucent. Ancient Dwemer artifacts, said the shopkeeper, with hidden mystical qualities. Udasi was but a young cub at the time, and the story entranced him. Though he could not afford the artifacts, he could not be without them. And so one night, he sneaked into the shop after dark and made off with them.
He stole them?
The shopkeeper wasn't using them, was his justification to Makara. As good a reason as any. He gave this one a gem, kept the metal for himself, and told Makara the merchant's words. These two artifacts are a pair, two halves of a whole. One is useless without the other, and together they have untold power. The same as us, Udasi said. Him and Makara. Two halves of a whole. That is why he gave Makara the gem, so that we would always have this connection. As long as we carry these, no matter how far apart we are, we will be together. Makara never believed in this gem's mystical powers, but nonetheless, she has always carried it with her. And Udasi carried his artifact too. Two halves of a whole. And now, one half seeking the other, yes?
Tell me about your brother.
Udasi? What can Makara say? He is this one's big brother, and she thinks the world of him. He is a kind, intelligent, caring cat. Always knows just what to say to cheer this one up on a bad day. Keep her going when life does its best to tear her down. A good trait to have, living on the streets of Balmora. As you may know, life in Morrowind is still not easy, nor very fair for Khajiit.
Especially since the Red Year.
But no matter how difficult life has been, he has always looked out for Makara. And in turn, Makara has always done her best to look out for him. It has been just the two of us for as long as Makara remembers, and we have always been close. Thick as thieves, yes? Or at least, we were until recently.
Had a falling out?
Yes, a few months ago. We fought, said some regrettable words to each other, and Udasi left, saying he hoped never to see this one again.
What happened?
The short answer is he's gone off the deep end about some dwarven artifact. But it's never quite that simple, yes? It is a long story, though. Perhaps another time, yes?
Do you have any idea where Udasi Drow might be? I could help look for him.
You would offer your help again? This one does not know what she has done to deserve your kindness. Such a change from the thinly veiled bigotry of Morrowind. It is endearing. Very well. Makara will tell you what she knows. This one passed through Windhelm some time back. Received something of a poor reception from the Nords there, but... The elves and the Greywater there mentioned a wide-eyed Khajiit with stark orange fur who had asked about Dwemer books during the last Rain's Hand. They said they referred him west, to the Bard's College in Solitude, the capital of Skyrim, yes? That is where Makara was going before she was, sidetracked.
So someone there might have seen Udasi Drow. I have a friend there!
As good a place to start as any. Makara will head that way too, but she is still not fully recovered, so she may lag behind you a bit. There is a pub in Whiterun, yes? If Makara cannot make it to Solitude, she will stop there and await your return. Thank you again, traveler.
Okay. Follow Udasi Drow's trail to the Bard's College in Solitude, and maybe head to Whiterun to see her. I see that dragon. Is that going to be the same legendary dragon? Knowing my luck, it's going to be, just because he's taunting me. How much you want to bet? Ask about Udasi Drow. Optional, find the Dwemer book that he was looking for.
Divine smile on you, friend.
Well, the real question is,
suppose I should
can
return to my
I
papers.
ask...
Yes?
Nanak, here we go. Were there ever any other Khajiit here at the Bard's College with you?
Have I mentioned that Khajiit are not known for their singing voices? I am fairly certain that I have, and you have just forgotten.
Well, it's been more than 5
Although,
minutes.
now that you mention it, there was this eccentric Khajiit who came to the college a few months ago. Orange fur, sort of steel-gray mane. Name of... what was it? Usodri Joe?
Pardon me, but I trust
something
you
like
working on
that.
your poem.
Strange fellow.
Heroes of Skyrim.
We shared a love of the Dwemer, but he really loved the Dwemer, yes? Made me uncomfortable the zeal with which he spoke about him. Cult-like. Had an odd feral sort of look in his eyes too, so other than a few brief talks, I made it a point to stay away. A bit too out there
Bunch of
for me,
distractions, if you
yes?
ask me. They just
Did he mention any books he might be looking for?
I'm sorry to
Books?
break it to you, Gerard.
About the Dwemer, I
An
assume.
unfortunate necessity
Eh,
of knowledge.
No, not that I saw. He spent most of his time down in the basement quarters though, so I didn't see him much. Left in a hurry though, as I recall. Must have found something down there. You're welcome to take a look around and see what you can find.
I hear they're looking for scouts.
And, of course, to pass along any books you find to me.
War bar.
For posterity's sake, yes?
Has already arranged for me to perform
Of
in the
course.
court of the Jarl of Falkreath.
Search for the book
My
in the
position
basement
over
of the
history.
Bard's College.
Covers a wide range of
Eat you
subjects.
alive.
I teach
Books,
poetry,
books,
writing,
books.
Music tames the
and
most
books.
savage beasts, even Nords.
It's very possible that this one does get marked. No, it doesn't. Okay. Wayward Brother, the quest doesn't have a marker for this one. Strange feeling it's not going to be here in the kitchen, but I'm taking a look just in case.
Skyrim, yes?
You never know where things are going to be hidden.
Poetry is so dull when it isn't set to music.
I'm sure it will be fine. Just don't be late.
Vanished, the disappearance of the Dwemer. The context of the disappearance of the Dwemer raised with a focus on the possibility of a fourth tool of Kagrenzel used on the heart of Lorcan. Okay. Kagrenzel. Well, that's going to be where we need to go then. If found, this fourth tool of Kagrenzel may be instrumental in finally unraveling the mystery of what caused the disappearance of the Roman race, and beyond that, may open the way for scholars to tap into the ley lines that underlie the very fabric of Mundus. Evidence has arisen, forged by a Chimer. Recently, seers at the College of Whiterun and Skyrim have been having visions of a divine light. Okay. Just gonna take that with me, because that's pretty good evidence right there. That is a fantastic lead. Can I... Where'd he go?
Pardon me, but
Nanak, I want to talk to you about it. Can I talk to you about it?
classical heroes of Skyrim, yes?
Did you find your book then? Good.
I did.
Epic about Hogue
Oh,
These sands are cold.
Oh, damn it. Alright.
Khajiit feels warmness from your presence.
Ah, I hit E on him thinking that was how I continued the conversation. I missed it.
Is there a reason you're staring at me like that?
Okay. Well, I don't think he's pertinent to the quest anyway, but
Only reason I'm so good.
it's a little thing, but I
because
love that they
told
did give him
it takes
follow-up
a
lines for that.
lifetime to master.
To me, it shows that the mod author knows what they're doing, that they care about the story and the characters. So, little things like that, to me, it's fantastic. It shows a great level of detail and a great level of care.
Ah, traveler, it is you. Good to see a friendly face here. Apologies that this one could not make it all the way to Solitude. A bit too far yet. What news do you bring?
Why are you all by yourself in here? Isn't it a bit lonely?
No? Well, yes, but Makara is not interested in dance and drink at the moment. The quiet and the smell of food in here are much more alluring. Not to mention, this one has seen the way the Nords and others out there look at her. She has seen that look before, from the elves in Balmora. Suspicion, disdain, just waiting for this one to give in to her nature and steal something.
Best just to ignore them. Grab a drink and enjoy yourself.
Perhaps later. But for now, this one will stay here by the fire, rest herself, and think a bit. Your company is enough.
I've returned from the Bard's College.
So you have. What did you find?
A book. It seems Udasi Dro was looking for a Dwemer ruin southeast of Windhelm.
Southeast of Windhelm? But Makara traveled through that region. She saw no Dwemer ruins there. This book, did it say what was in these ruins?
Something about a divine light and some lost tools.
Tools? You don't mean Kagrenzel's tools? Udasi used to tell this one about these tools. Said they were at the center of the Dwemer's disappearance. He also said that they were cursed, and would likely kill any who touched them. Makara hopes Udasi does not intend to find them. There are some things better left lost to the ages, don't you think?
Reaching beyond our grasp is a good way to get hurt, yes.
True. Look where it got the Dwemer.
Yep.
They were wiped from existence as a result of grasping beyond their understanding.
Trying to play gods and,
This world is
poof.
complicated enough without trying to attain the power of the gods. Makara is happy simply to continue living day by day. She wishes Udasi felt this way as well.
I'm sure he's fine.
Thank you. And thank you for your trip to the Bard's College. It is a long distance, and Makara was not yet able to traverse it.
Tell me more about your brother.
Makara has always been a pragmatic cat, but Udasi, he has been interested in the occult ever since his days as a little cub on the streets. In particular, he was very interested in the Dwemer. He was constantly reading books about them growing up. Archaeological studies, cultural motifs, the workings of spiders and spheres and centurions, and above all the theories of how they vanished. This one did not care for any of it, and as it morphed from a hobby into an obsession, it became a point of friction between us. It got in the way of his daily chores, put our livelihood at risk as we got older. At his worst, he would not work, would not eat, would not sleep. All his time went into his reading. Every septum he had went into his obsession. Books, trinkets, Dwemer scrap, anything he could lay his claws on.
And that's what you fought over.
They were more spats than fights at the beginning. Suggestions for moderation, met with barbed words in defense. Recently, though, it got worse. Udasi heard the rumor of a long-lost Dwemer ruin in Skyrim, containing an artifact of untold power and... well, for a time, it transformed him into the image of the Skooma Cat himself. He raved for days on end about it, pored over every book he owned. As the days passed, his fur became more and more bedraggled, the look in his eyes more feral, and his demeanor changed. He became jittery, irritable. These one's suggestions that the rumor was not worth his suffering were met with vague hints and clues he found in his books. Her fears that we would lose what meager income we had were met with his certainty that finding this artifact would pay for the rest of our lives.
Sounds like he had an answer for everything.
It angered Makara, brought her to tears a number of times. Eventually, Udasi began talking about traveling to Skyrim to look for this artifact. And that was all Makara could take. She yelled and could not believe the words coming from her mouth. Neither could Udasi. How will you pay for this foolish trip? How will you protect yourself with no weapons or armor? How could you leave Makara behind, all alone? How heartless, how brainless are you? For a moment, he was hurt. This one remembers the look in his eyes. Sadness, pain, betrayal, and then a growing fire, rage. It all ended with him wishing this one to oblivion so that he would never have to see her again. And then he was gone.
You didn't end things with your brother on a good note.
No. And Makara has regretted that every minute of these months he has been gone. But he is out there somewhere. This one can feel it. There is still time. Makara will find him and embrace him, and we will return home together.
The name Kagrenzel was written in the book Udasi left in solitude.
Is that the name of the Dwemer ruins? It does not sound like a typical dwarven name, but then neither does Kagrenek. You said these ruins are south of Windhelm?
Southeast, up in the mountains. Do you think you'll head that way?
Yes. It seems Makara only just arrived in Whiterun, and already she must return to the road. It is a long journey, yes? But Udasi is out there, and so this one must go. My friend, you have come this far with Makara, and you have done so much for her. Thank you. Whatever happens in the end of this, Makara is glad to have met you. She will not ask you to join her as she goes to find Kagrenzel, but if you should be so inclined to join her, let us meet up in Windhelm for a drink before embarking. The bartender at Candlehearth Hall makes an excellent moon sugar rum. Until then...
One thing I like is that she's not a follower yet. That while we did her initial quest, this second quest is what will still determine if she will become a follower for us or not. I like it, and I really like the length and the structure of this quest. It's actually a really nice follow-up, given that the other quests were a little bit more straightforward, were a little bit more just kind of one note, you know.
Captain Lonely Gale.
Hello again,
I've been
traveler.
looking for you
If you've
everywhere.
come for that drink, Makara will have to
Can I
disappoint
help
you.
you?
The bartender's
thought
run
about
out of
my
her moon
invitation?
sugar stock.
Damn.
I've thought
The
about it.
Khajiit caravans
I'm not
haven't
sure
been
it's a
around
good
for a
idea.
bit, and the spice comes and goes with them.
Is it
Perhaps
still
another
too
time,
soon?
yes?
Yes, I think that must be it. My wife
Back in
hasn't been
Windhelm,
gone
eh?
that
Have the
long.
locals treated you any
Ask
better
me
this
again on
time?
another day.
Makara is in one piece,
sorry to
so
be such
she
a
supposes
bother.
they have treated her
We'll
about as
talk
well as
another
could be
time.
expected. No better than last time, though. At least in this place, Candlehearth Hall, Makara is viewed as a customer first. If she keeps to herself, she predicts no trouble. Outside, this one prefers not to take her chances. She heard there is a person called the Butcher here who kills females while they travel on the streets. Add these Nords' nationalism to the mix, and it's safe to say a female Khajiit would not last long out here, yes?
Actually, I've taken care of that. The butcher's no more.
Have you now? You continue to surprise this one, making Skyrim safer, one serial killer at a time. Well, good. This one is still not going to stray too far outside, but good. Khajiit hopes you gave the barbarian a bit of his own medicine, yes?
Are you ready to head out to find Kagrenzel then?
Ready? No, likely not. This one's injuries still take her breath away when she steps wrong, but this needs to be done. If Udasi is in Kagrenzel, Makara must find him. You are sure you will join this one on her trip? It may be dangerous.
I'm sure we'll find him together. Give me some time to prepare. I'm prepared. I'm sure we'll find him together.
Thank you, traveler. Makara does not know where she would be without you, but she is happy to have you at her side. Come, let's go.
Find the Dwemer runes mentioned in the book Udrasi Dro Red.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, we know southeast and in the mountains, so we'll just have to find it based on that. My guess is that it's not a marked location, because if it was, I would see it by now on the compass. I would see it a little like, oh, undiscovered location on the compass. Which makes me wonder how obvious of a location it'll be. But it's me, so I'll miss it anyway. Never mind, I'm an idiot. Kagrenzel is an existing dungeon. I just didn't remember it, but it goes back to what I said before of after 10 years, they blur together. Hell if I remember all of them. Someone watching this probably does. Me, I don't, I'm sorry to say.
Please, a moment.
I don't recognize this though, but it says it's cleared. I don't recognize it, but it was already on my map, and it already says cleared. Are you alright?
Yes, this one is. Just tired is all. Khajiit's ribs feel like they are cracking in half. Moon's cursed mortal bodies. Yes.
Can you continue on?
No.
Oh no, you're falling.
No.
You're slipping.
To have come this far. To be this close. Udasi. But this one must rest. She is of no use if she gets herself killed rushing in there hurt.
Do you want me to wait here with you?
Such kindness. You make this one feel guilty for dragging you into her problems, for having you do her dirty work for her, for being unable to carry her own weight now, when it matters most. No, traveler, do not wait. If you wish to delve into the ruins, look for Udasi. This one welcomes your aid, and will await your return, but it is not required, and if you choose to leave, Makara does not hold it against you. She will gather herself and enter when she can. If Udasi is in this place, Makara will find him.
Listen, I've come this far, I've come all this way, I'm not just gonna leave, that would be a little rude. Don't you worry, I'll find Udasi Dro. You stay here and I'll return with him soon.
Okay, but be careful in there. The Dwemer are known for their ingenious traps. Who knows what you may run across? Makara will wait for you. You just make sure you make it out alive, yes?